And we're live. Hey guys, well, welcome. I'm Doc G, of course, and I got my good friend Jeremy here next to me from Webstar Industries. Welcome to Tech and Computer Corner. Of course, you can call it anything else other than maybe that tech and innovations. We're looking for maybe somebody that can give us some insight on if they want to let us know where we can go with that. And tonight's episode is actually, Jeremy, we're going to be talking about Windows 10 holes and printer issues, scams, and whatever else anybody else wants to talk about as far as taking calls, comments, and solutions. It's on my Facebook page. And with you, tell us a little bit about yourself, who you are, and how long you've been doing websites and stuff like that.
Well, my name is Jeremy. I'm actually part of Webstar Industries. I'm the owner, actually. I've been doing web design now for, I would say, a good 15 years. I've worked with some big companies as well as some small companies. I also do a little bit of computer repair as well. But probably the computers, I'd say I started with almost 20 years ago, and then I started going into the passion of web design because I enjoy creating stuff. And I've even helped out Gino here, my man.
A lot of times, yeah.
Design stuff. So I'm gonna put you out there. Your business. Sorry, got to do
That's
it.
All right. That's all right. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
I just sent you the link, by the way. So, so we're going to talk about Windows 10 holes. And security holes are bad in ports and different things like that. What do you know of Windows security holes?
There's a lot of them. Ports is one of them, like you said. It also depends on what you're doing. Like even clicking on a fictitious email, of course, can cause some complications, especially if it's a fake website. Good examples of that being, say they say they're your bank and you click on it and then you put all your info in and looks like your bank, but actually isn't your bank. With everybody's computers, firewalls are a necessity. There's different programs out there, as Gino knows as well. Some are better than others. None are going to protect you 100%. So if anybody tells you they got 100% fix, it's not going to happen. I get that question all the time. Do you have a piece of software that protects me 100%? Absolutely not. There's not such a thing. Even though every product will go and say it's better than the other product, of course. Just like every carrier will say they're better than the other carrier. But it's all up to you and doing your vigilance on checking stuff out. Like some people like Bitdefender, which is not a bad program.
Right.
Some people use VPNs, but then VPNs have their issues too. If you're using a VPN, you're being bridged or firewalled through their server. So you might not be able to access every website. So VPNs can be a bad thing, even though some people think they're 100% positive. So it just all depends on what you want to do. But me, VPNs, I try to stay away from. They cause more problems than not. Good example, Apple phones. Everybody's got one. Go and get you a VPN on it and see how many issues you have. Just saying.
A lot of clashes, right?
You can't access the web. Yeah, you're going to have a lot of major issues. It's not because of Apple. It's because of the VPN now. So I want to make sure I put that out there. So personally, I don't use that type of stuff. But to protect yourself, always have a good firewall. There's lots of programs like Kaspersky and stuff that are out there that are pretty good. But being able to determine and tell you every single loophole and port to protect, I don't have that list. But you can actually get that information online by doing a Google search. That'll tell you what ports to open and not. And the PNP that some people have turned on their firewalls can be a danger too. So there's a whole bunch of different things that could be a danger besides just your computer. So your firewall actually could be also built into your router, as you know already knows. That's another way hackers get into you too, because if you get an infected computer and it goes and infects that router, it could affect every device that you connect to it. Therefore, your whole network's compromised, including your security systems and cameras. Right. So,
what about double firewalls? I've heard over the years that people used to say, well, if you have a firewall that's a software and you have a firewall on the router and then you have a firewall here, too many is not good either.
They could conflict with each other.
That's what I'm saying. Each driver is different. Each software is set up differently. I mean, yeah, exactly. Could create problems when you don't have problems.
True. Just like anything. You could get a bad program that's on your computer that can cause you havoc too, because a lot of people want free. So they download a lot of the free stuff and they don't do their research. Like some of them cleaners that are out there that people try to clean their computers with. CC Cleaner's okay, but there's a lot. And with CC Cleaner, you also got to make sure you don't go and install all the extra garbageware that comes with it, because it gives you a choice, but don't put garbageware. I'm just saying. But CC Cleaner by itself is one of the best cleaners out there. I would definitely highly suggest. But I use the free version, and I'm sure Gino does too if he uses.
Yeah, still do. Yeah, see, us tech people, we know the certain things that you can use and certain things you can't use. And he just gave me an interesting information earlier on Notepad++. You can still use Notepad, but you still use this software that actually it makes everything cleaner when you do Notepad. And I love that. That's exactly, you don't want to use Word and you don't have the money for Word. This is an easy way to do it. So thank you for that. I appreciate that.
And OpenOffice, don't forget about OpenOffice, because it's just like a Microsoft product, just but free. So that's another one out there that you can get. And if for Outlook, if you use Outlook and you like it, but you want a free alternative, they got Thunderbird out there too, which is made by Mozilla, I believe it is. I'd have to go double check that, but I'm pretty sure it's Mozilla.
Yeah, I think it is Mozilla. Thunderbird's Mozilla. Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And those are safe alternatives. And for FTPs and stuff like that, if you're a web designer, Qt FTP and some of those that are out there are also free and open source, but they're still secure. And Lastpass, if you want to keep your passwords safe. I use Lastpass myself. It's actually
what is the cost of that to have that? That's probably the best thing to have, because like you said, when your computer shuts down and does a reboot, sometimes it flushes all the cache out, right? And you don't have your passwords. You always have to hit forget passwords. Does LastPass remember the password?
Yes, LastPass actually goes off of a server, but it's an encrypted server. If you actually contact them to try to help you restore it, they'll tell you it's impossible because they can't see it. So you do got to keep the files, the original files when you set it up on your computer to actually be able to restore that. And that's what I like also about LastPass. They cannot see your passwords. They cannot access that information. That's encrypted. And I like the idea that it's encrypted too. But you can get it on your mobile devices. You can get it on your computer, laptop, stuff like that. And that's what makes it more convenient. Like you said, Gino, what if your computer crashed? Then you got to log into a website. You got your phone, but you don't remember what it is.
Right.
So let's use LastPass and let it go and get us right into what we need to.
Well, we've all been there. I mean, listen, I'm learning every day more stuff. I mean, I saw online about a guy that was able to right click where the password was, look up the properties, go into the properties of the index file, and then put password there or take the password out of there and then look, and then the password was there. It's like, oh my God, I would have never thought of that. That was really cool. My friend Benny Pitzinger just says hi. Hi Benny, how you doing? Thanks for joining us tonight. This is just a little bit of what we're giving you, a little insight of what we're going to be talking about tonight. Please share this as well. We want to talk about printer issues. I mean, everybody has a printer. Everybody has problems with a printer. But Jeremy, as much as I do, the printer ink is a problem. Sometimes the drivers are the problem. Sometimes the Wi-Fi is the problem. Sometimes the printer don't print. Primary issues of the printers are usually all them things. And sometimes it's a hardware issue too.
That is true. And a lot of people also, when it is a hardware issue, be a motor or something like that, if it's, and we had this discussion earlier, actually, me and Gino, about ink and cost of computers. Let's say your motor goes out on that and you come to me or even Gino to go and fix that problem. You need a new motor put in. That motor can cost you maybe 30, 40 bucks, depending. Then you got your labor, that's another 35 bucks, but the printer costs you 100 bucks. So in most cases, I suggest people just go get a new printer because, I mean, honestly, it's going to cost you less in the long run and you got a new one. And also when you buy printer ink, you're spending the same cost as a printer. If you actually pay attention to it, the ink nowadays costs you about the same exact price as a brand new computer or printer. I mean, so another thing to think about.
Yeah, no, and what we were talking about too was also that make sure before you buy a printer, you look at the price of ink that's going to be for that printer. They have samples. You look at the price of the ink, and that's what you're going to be paying maintenance for the printer as you keep using it. So if you don't want to spend $30 or $40 for printer ink for just one cartridge, there's others available, but usually they're either more expensive or a little bit cheaper. So you have that area to look at. But I would also recommend too, don't buy a cheap printer. I mean, like I said, between $50 to $100 is probably a good printer. But if you want to go for another like higher, printer, that's up to you. I'm just telling you what I would do, and I don't mind spending $50, $100 for a printer because what was $300 or $400 is now in that range. So remember that. You can say your laser jets and your others, they're going to be a lot more higher, but they're also going to be better printers. They're going to print, a lot of different things that you need for like whatever it is, whether it's T-shirts or mugs or whatever. But check into that before you buy it. So all we're suggesting is make sure, number one, printer issues. Make sure your software is up to date. Make sure your Windows is up to date on the computer you're using or your phone. Make sure that you have the right ink installed. Make sure you have the software drivers right. And once all that's done, then start troubleshooting it. And a lot of these printers today have troubleshooting right in them, Jeremy.
Yep, that's true. I mean, there's a lot of different issues that are going on, including the quality of paper you get. If you get too thick of a piece of paper, load too much paper into your printer, you can also jam it pretty good that way. That can also destroy the life of the motors because the harder they got to work, the better chances of them breaking too, because everything's made of plastic now. Yep. You don't have stuff made of metal. Just like in computers back in the day, they were made of gold and silver on the motherboards. And this is a funny little thing that a lot of people don't know. So you see that guy that's going and buying that pallet of 286s for $200 and saying they're all junk. He's just getting the gold and the silver off of them.
That's it.
Yep. More than that $200 he spent. He's making like $1,000, $1,500. Oops, did I tell a little secret out there that people don't like being told? Well, it's truth. But you got to find out the chemical baths and stuff that you need to do to get that gold easily. And it's usually like an acid bath. So,
yeah, if it's not clean, a lot of places won't take it. A lot of places won't take it. It's got to be clean. I mean, this is as far as we know about printers, right? You buy a printer, the printer works from your phone, the Wi-Fi works, the printer works. Any problems you have with the printer itself is either going to be internal, which I've never seen happen, but it can happen. Where you said the roller sometimes, or you also said the motor will shut off. I've never seen that happen. I've seen printers stop working completely because they lost the electric somehow, or they got also a lightning shock will destroy the internal parts of a printer, just like it would with a computer, unless you don't have that strip on there. So it's very important. All these little things that you can do for preventive is probably better to enact rather than don't do. Don't you agree?
I agree. And everything's being proactive and trying to take care of your stuff, your keyboards, your electronics, using a can of air every now and again just to, get dust out of it. Even keyboards. I mean, there's other things they've got for keyboards too. You can get them gel things that you put on your keys and it gets all the gunk out of all the little creases and stuff. And that can be helpful. You can get mini vacuums for your keyboard and other things. Mm-hmm. Get dust off, or making sure that if you got a desktop, don't let it get dusted up. Even your laptop, because any dust that builds up can also be a fire hazard. You can actually have your computer catch fire on you as well. But people don't think of that. Dust bunnies.
That's true. And, I always say about a laptop, close the laptop when you're not using it. Keep it closed. That's what the laptop is for. You can open it as you need it and close it as you need it. You're better off with that. And you're also better off with letting it go to sleep. Hibernate and sleep it'll less wear on your computer. A lot of people it never shuts down. It never shuts off. That means it's constantly working when you're sleeping. Why do you want it to constantly work? So there are a couple ideas. But anyway, we're going to talk about scams now. And Jeremy and I were talking about this earlier, and there's so many scams. There's warranty scams. There's scams with the IRS. There's scams with the police department, scams with the health department or health issues. So we're going to talk about warranties first. What we know about warranties is usually any manufacturer, anything you buy, whether it's a car or whatever, it does give you a warranty. Now, every warranty is different. Every manufacturer is different. Each warranty is different. You can also get extended warranties, which I always recommend to get because they cover you for another maybe 3 years, 6 years, or whatever. But there's a point where you got to say, wait a minute, I don't need a warranty anymore. This car is so many thousands of miles over, 100,000 miles over. Do you need a warranty? Well, if you're spending, we were talking $130 to $3,000 a month, don't you think it's better just to take that money, put it in a bank account or your own account and let it create a savings for it and create an amount there, then put it in a warranty? Then if you have something that goes bad, you have that money. You don't need the warranty. Because what happens with warranty companies is they make so much money from the people that think that something's going to fail, and it never fails.
That's true.
And if it does fail, they're only using a portion of what they paid.
Absolutely.
That's 90% of the time with people. Don't you agree?
Yep. And read all the small print. 90% of the stuff that's going to break in the car isn't going to be covered.
Well, that's just cars now. We're talking about, appliances now. Appliances, whether it's a washer, dryer, dishwasher, used to last, since we were kids, they probably last for 20, 30, 40 years. But what happens is over the period of time, things start wearing out because they were really, really used a lot. And at the same time, parts will end up going bad. They know this, but they also know that you don't want to go in between and go, oh my God, I don't have a washer for the weekend. There's laundromats, people. You can wash dishes by hand. You don't need everything right away.
But even if you get a warranty, Walmart's a good example of this. So let's say you
cover everything, right?
But you get that warranty. They only cover you up to the dollar amount. Here's what they really do. Here's a gift card, go get it. Well, if you bought it 10 years ago or whatever that warranty is, let's say 3 years ago, yeah, you might have paid $100 then. That same item might be $300 by the time you got to go replace it. So you're still spending another $200. So you're not really getting anything out of the warranty, in my opinion.
No, you're right.
Everything increases. Prices don't stay the same. Everything. Right. Look at your food market, like we were talking about the other day. Tomatoes are outrageous to buy some tomatoes.
No, you're right. It is absolutely crazy. And like I said, with all the warranties, you might not even need the warranty. I keep telling people you might not need the warranty, so don't get it. Don't be hassled. Don't be afraid to go without for a little bit. And then, that's the problem. Nobody wants to go without. But the IRS scams with taxes coming up soon, that's another one, man. People are just they're falling for all the little pop-ups they see. They're falling for information. Again, phishing scams, right? Where they get your social security number, they get your name, they get your address, they get who you are, and people are willing to give it to them. And I don't understand that. I don't understand why you would want to give somebody that you don't know all your information.
They use a scare tactic. But there's a new scam besides IRS that's going on that's actually getting people pretty good. So, I saw your application on Indeed, and I'd like to do an interview with you. So then you go through the interview, you think you're getting an actual job. They need you to fill out your social security and all your information, and you're just gladly giving it to that person you don't even know on the other side. And that person is nobody. And people don't look up the business name. They don't verify it through Better Business Bureau. There's things we should do before we start giving our information out. Just saying.
Yeah, always do due diligence. Always do diligence. Always look for the stuff to find, if this is a reputable company, if it's a accredited Better Business Bureau company, if it's been around a long time, I mean, these fly-by-nights are, they're in and out all the time, and this is crazy. I mean, all these scams. I mean, anybody has any questions or comments or suggestions with us, you can reach out to me now here. Benny, you can, I mean, you're a musician, Benny. You've got a lot of scams out there with music, and selling extra warranties for guitars and keyboards and drums and this and that. And in my day, I never saw that. I just saw, you broke a drum, you went and got one. It wasn't a big deal, but again, everybody's afraid to not have the extra, backup, I guess you could say.
So with warranties, even at Walmart, the other thing is it's on your receipt. Right. So if you accidentally throw your receipt away, guess what? You just threw your warranty away.
Yeah, Staples.
And they'll tell you that too. They can't pull it back. They can't get to the info. If you threw it out, that's your bad luck. That's why they give you that little paper. You got to register everything and take a photo of your receipt and do all this other silliness. So let's say you did spend $100 on a warranty and accidentally threw it away. You might as well say you just threw your $100 down the drain. Literally.
Well, Staples is like that too. They're just, I mean, they're unbelievable when it comes to, you can't turn your ink in anymore because they were used to give us like a certain portion of money back if you turn your ink in. So I don't even bother turning my ink in anymore. What am I going to bother doing it for?
True.
I mean, other than recycling, they get the money and we don't get the money. I mean, that doesn't help us at all. So I don't even shop there as much anymore. So we want to round up because we're only doing 30 minutes today. But if you guys got any phone calls, I'll leave the phone number here. Benny, if you want to call and talk, we can talk. 609-331. I believe it's, let me see the number. I think it's 9074. I think it was, Shane. I can't remember. I don't use my.
I don't. Is it your phone?
It's a Skype phone.
Oh, I don't know that number off the top.
Yeah, Skype is installing now. It's actually updating itself. So I have to wait till it updates because it just did an update. And Windows and Microsoft owns Skype now. So anything they own, it always updates.
Actually, talking about some interesting stuff, Microsoft just bought out Blizzard. That's actually huge news for any gamers out there. Anybody knows who Blizzard is. They're the people that made the game World of Warcraft that made billions of dollars.
Oh, wow.
And they paid, I forget how many billions of dollars to actually buy out Blizzard. It's actually Blizzard and Activision are one and the same, and they bought both of them out. So that's pretty big news. As far as on the tech side of things, for those that haven't heard about it, I thought that was pretty big news.
Oh, okay. Really cool. I just put our number up here, guys, in case you want to call. I'm accepting phone calls. That's me and my beautiful wife there, of course. So, Shane, Jeremy and I would like to say thank you for listening and watching us today. Do you have anything else you want to add to that, or tell people how to get in touch with you if they want a website or anything?
Well, if anybody needs to get a hold of me, you can get. I guess you could give my information out if you don't mind posting that number up. Gino, you do have my cell number, which that's also my business number, which is fine. You can also go to my website, which is at webstarindustries.com. And we have a form there that you can fill out to get started as well. It's called the discovery form, just to give me an idea of what you're looking for your business so we can actually get started on that. We do everything from custom forms, SEO, SSL. SSL is your security layers, your HTTPS websites, to make sure that you guys can also do any type of credit transaction, stuff of that sort. So yeah, we got a lot of information that we can get available. Also, for those that do go to get any type of work done on websites, Gina knows I'm one of those people. I don't like to see people get scammed. Since we're talking about scams,
I hate it too.
Register your own domain name. Do not go through me or somebody else to register it. And the reason I say that is if you get a shady person and they design your website and later decide to take that domain name from you, they can charge you $20,000, $30,000 to get that domain name back. It's some crooked business. So not saying everybody's crooked out there, so please don't take it that way. I'm just saying use caution.
I get it,
Just register your own domain name. I think you even agree with that one, Gino.
Absolutely, I definitely agree. Yeah,
And Gino's a good example of people that watch too. So if your website goes out of registration, they're going to buy it up and try to resell it to you for massive amounts of money.
Yeah.
I hope you don't care me saying that out here, Gino, but
I don't care. No,
you know what I'm
right.
talking about, because they did that with your original. So
yeah, I know.
So that's another thing. If you do have a domain name, make sure that you keep it registered. Don't let it, expire, because then you're going to have that person that's sitting there waiting for that to expire to buy it and try to resell it to you. Even like my old one, New Trends Computing, I used to be. That's what they tried to do to me too. They want 35,000. You can keep it. You can sit on that all day and all night long, because I ain't buying it.
I know mine's down to 1,000 now, but I'll still never buy it. I won't buy it. Sorry. I can use my
it's a scam too. That's what people are doing, is waiting. I don't remember which big business it was, but there was a business that did get their domain expired. I can't remember the name of the company. It's $1 million company, and the person sold back their domain name for $50,000.
Wow, that's amazing.
50,000 is cheap if it's $1 million company. That's real cheap.
Well, I think that's kind of what they're hoping. It's almost like holding you hostage type of thing. If you want it, you're going to pay it. If you don't want it, then somebody else will pay it, or they'll just sit on it, like you said. So, I'm going to let you go. I'm going to stay here in case anybody has phone calls. You're welcome to stay, but anybody has phone calls, you can reach out to me at that number, 601-609-331-9074. You can comment below here if you want. We could talk some more about some other problems with your computers and issues you have. But other than that, we're good, guys. This is going to be, hopefully we're going to do this once every week, or maybe once a month. But keep your questions coming in, keep your comments coming in, keep your suggestions coming in. We're looking for advertisers, sponsors, people that want to be on this show. We're looking for people that have a lot of great information to share with everybody. Thank you, Josie. And a lot of great things, like my friend Benny, that is a great musician, and he's got a lot of great stuff going on. But not everybody understands what we're talking about. Not everybody will understand a certain about a pickup or a music instrument or something like that. The technical people would. Not everybody does. Thank you, everybody, for being here. No phone calls. We're gonna call it a day. Thank you all. Have a good day. Bye, Jeremy.
All right, I can still talk to you, even though you're going off air.
No, I know. I'm just saying.